when lives are on the line.
Are there any obvious injuries?
These men and women will risk theirs
The lad who was driving got blood coming out of his face.
to save yours.
RTC trap.
They deal with the most serious injuries.
The patient is described as bleeding heavily.
Directly below his ear.
There's a lot of blood there.
The most critical illnesses.
The reports of a male who's in cardiac arrest, and without any action, the patient will die.
The two Yorkshire Air Ambulances cover Britain's biggest county.
Mark?
Yeah, I'm doing the run.
No, you're not doing a run. You were doing a run.
5 million people rely on them
All right, sorry, sweetheart.
to deliver cutting-edge emergency medicine
Yeah, we're just going to go to sleep. He's not looking particularly good.
at high speed.
If you can activate your major hemorrhage protocol.
Every day brings high stakes.
So in terms of injuries, there's any possibility here.
So she's been this side of the caravan, this part of the structure.
Yeah.
Right. Looks to have gone clean over it.
High risks.
10-year-old Spanish-speaking female. She's run out between parked cars. They've clipped her leg.
Which one was mum? This is mum here.
And the mom. Estos chicos no te van a hacer daño.
The hardest thing dealing with kids is they're trying to keep them calm.
And high drama.
59.
It's turned on me today.
Got a bit feisty.
Yeah.
If you've broken the rib at the bottom, there's a chance it might have just nicked the spleen.
It's high summer and the holiday season is underway.
Just looking calm, not with 5 miles over wait till
Dr. Paul Onion and the team have been called to an accident at a caravan park.
We're going to an out-of-area job just outside of Yorkshire. Sounds like we're going to an elderly patient that's trapped under a caravan. We don't have much more information than that at the moment. Obviously, it's a massive, what we call mechanism of injury, so there's several things that could have happened. Has this person been knocked to the floor? Has a wheel gone over them? Are they actually physically kind of trapped with the caravan sat on top of them? So in terms of injuries, there's any possibility here.
Pilot Gary must get his medics on the ground.
I've got the caravans. We're going to have to land down the road in that site. There's no access from there now.
He's landed choppers in war zones, but he'll need all his skill today.
Oh, this is going to be interesting. I can't see anywhere to land. There's a fence go all the way down, or is it just... Yeah, there's all the way down to them 6 or 7 terrace houses. There's a fireman running down the road here. I wonder if he's going to cut this fence down here. Okay, mate, come in left side, mate.
Gary's trying to squeeze Helimed 99 onto a patch of waste ground.
That's a rapid descent. I had a long way to go down, and because I'm very close, so... Yeah, it looks like they let that gate beat. I assume if the pro's the middle of it, then we'll have a taxi around the caravans. Got the chimney on the left-hand side, can't see no wires. Okay.
It's a difficult landing, with a host of obstacles to avoid.
The rubble behind us, Gary, it's higher than the ground that you're going to land on. I'll keep an eye on the tail. Yes, have you got this where it drops away? It's behind you. Yeah, mate, I'm going to land on past
The whole team are working together.
Good left, Andy. You're looking good left, mate, yeah. What's tail like? Yeah, tail's good, mate.
And finally, they're down.
Yeah, levers out, cleared out. Do you want me to bring anything, guys? I'll bring blood again. I'll bring blood again, yeah. All right.
The accidents happened in a yard where touring caravans are stored.
Hi guys, how are we doing?
The patient was crushed by the family caravan in a freak accident.
Jennifer, 69 years old.
Hi Jennifer, keep still darling.
She's been this side of the caravan.
Yep.
This part of the, call it multi-mover, this part of the structure.
Yeah.
Right. Looks to have gone clean over her, okay, and it's come this way. She complains of a lot of pain in this area and shortness of breath initially when we got to her.
Ground paramedics have been fighting to stabilise pensioner Jennifer.
Looks to be broken wrist, forearm where we can see.
Jennifer, hiya there, my name's Pete.
Yeah, we will, yeah.
So what we're going to do now, because that's run over round your hips and your pelvis, we're going to put a binder on. If you fractured anything then, or if there's any injuries, it'll just stop them from worsening as we move you, okay?
It's feared she's bleeding internally. It's life-threatening.
As we're doing all this, if anything changes, if you get any strange sensations, then just tell us straight away, will you? Yeah?
It looks like Jennifer's pelvis is shattered.
Just take a deep breath for me. Where's that? Is that around your pelvis? It is. Does that hurt there? It's down there. So is it mainly down into your groin?
Yeah.
Okay.
She was helping her husband Martin park up the caravan after returning from holiday. The site owner saw what happened.
Martin's put the caravan back with the motor mover, which enables them to put it back with ease. But then he's gone round the front, put the hitch cover on and forgot to put the handbrake lever on. So he's taken the motor mover off, and Jennifer unfortunately has been at the front of the caravan. It's pulled Jennifer down the road and run her over. But normally he's pretty good. He's an ex-mechanic type thing, bodybuilder. Unfortunately, accidents happen that quick, you can't prevent them.
Jennifer is critically injured. The team fear broken bone shards from her pelvis have punctured a major blood vessel.
Where's that?
Paramedic Pete wants to prevent the bleeding getting worse.
It's just a splint that's going to keep it nice and rigid. It'll just mean when we move you, it's not going to move around uncontrolled, okay?
Jennifer's being transferred to a stretcher for her flight to hospital.
Okay, ready, steady, move.
But every movement is agony.
Just lift your foot, sweetheart, that's it. Yeah, I think that's as good as we're going to get down there.
Where's the worst of your pain, my love?
In my groin.
In your groin, yeah. Okay. Ready, steady, move. It's just run out the O2, innit?
Oh, okay, sorry about that.
If you can, my love, we're just going to try and pull your legs straight.
Left leg's down, so just bear with us 1 minute.
You've got enough room there. Okay, good. Do you guys just want to grab the stoop then and we'll... Yep. So just nice and steady. Ready, steady, move.
At last, she's out from under the caravan.
That's the worst of everything done now. Jennifer, can you bring your toes up towards you? Okay, just going to feel up your legs now. Any pain there?
It's inside my tummy, inside my ribs.
In your tummy and your ribs.
Jennifer's husband is trying to make sense of what happened.
I pulled the caravan back and the caravan suddenly just went away from me. It threw me over, and when I got myself up off the ground, it had stopped, but then Jennifer was shouting, and of course she was trapped underneath it. Can't believe it. After 2.5 weeks away, it comes back, and it's this.
Your legs hurt because we've put them together? Okay, you've just had some more pain medicine, so hopefully, once that starts to take effect in a few minutes, you should settle down again.
The team have given her TXA, a drug that promotes blood clotting, but she needs emergency surgery.
At the moment, we're just checking hospital availability.
Yeah, okay.
Preston might not be possible for us to go to because they've got a lot of cases in, so it might be Leeds.
Leeds.
Yeah, but we'll confirm that back with you, all right, before we move anywhere. Okay?
Right, thanks, yeah.
We've got a 69-year-old female who's been moving a caravan, and the caravan's rolled on top of her. Injuries-wise, so some left-sided chest pain with slightly reduced air entry on the left, some right lower abdominal pain, and bilateral pelvic pain. In terms of treatment, she's had 8 milligrams of morphine, 4 milligrams of ondansetron, and 1 gram of TXA.
Just going to lift you up now and carry you to the aircraft, all right? On yours, Andy?
Okay, ready, steady, lift.
She's going to be flown to the major trauma centre in Leeds, 40 miles away.
Right, we're going to lift and basically reverse back out where we came in.
The main concern at the moment is we think she may have a relatively minor chest injury. The bigger concern is that she's got a lot of pain in and around her hips, her groin and her pelvic region. We had one of the blood pressure readings was a little bit low, so we're going to take her to the major trauma centre at Leeds General Infirmary. She'll get her full body CT scan and that'll show us the extent of her injuries.
Surgeons are standing by for Jennifer's arrival. Her condition is beginning to deteriorate.
Her blood pressure started to drop slightly as we were coming through, which is worrying, particularly in any patient that's had that amount of trauma, but particularly in an elderly patient. There's sometimes a chance that they're going to deteriorate very quickly. The trauma centres now are set up so well that all the expertise, all the specialities you may need for the patient deteriorating are already in one place. So what they'll do, the consultants will be around the patient and they'll decide what treatment is best for them. If she needs anything immediate, then you've got the experts already at hand to carry that out.
Jennifer's life is on the line. The next hour will be critical for her survival. Yorkshire's Air Ambulance crews are selected from more than 1,700 frontline ground paramedics, and every 3 years, new recruits arrive to begin training. They must be ready for anything. Gav McCune is one of this year's new arrivals, undergoing training in water awareness.
It's important because we're dispatched on the helicopter, we can be going to remote locations, which might take a long time for might rescue, ambulance or even fire service to get there. So it's important for us to have a lot of a working knowledge of the river, how the water works, all the hydrology and stuff like that, so that we can operate safely there if we need to rescue a casualty.
And it's not long before his first job is coming in. At RAF Topcliffe, the dispatcher is on the line.
Hi, it's Andy on Air Desk. I've got a job for you. It's an RTC just right on top here, basically. 2 vehicles. I don't know the speeds involved. It says it's head-on with a chest injury, possible sternal fracture.
The crash is just 5 miles away.
Top of tower, head about 98 Alpha, lifting, departing to the west Topcliffe.
Looks good inside, moving forward.
Air Desk from 98, we've lifted from Topcliffe, routing to Baldersby.
Paramedic Ant, who's about to complete his time in the air, will be keeping an eye on new boy Gav.
We're heading to an RTC outside the village of Baldersby. I'm not actually sure of any more details on that at the minute, so I think we'll just have to wait and see what we get when we're on scene. It's only a couple of minute flight, so we'll be on the ground pretty soon, so we'll be able to assess and see where we go from there.
The crash has happened on a busy country road.
I'm just going to go around the back of these units, and we'll go for the corner of the field to the left of the DCA. Yeah.
But pilot Steve has a number of hazards making his job harder.
There's a horse rider on the field next to it, though. That's the problem. I'm going to make my approach to this end of the field. Okay, wires are over to the right. Yeah, they go off the other way. Right. Okay, I'm going to put it here, no closer. Yeah.
Two men from the red car are being cared for by local paramedics.
Okay, Eddie driver, you can see frontal impact, whatever, not KO'd, okay, complaining of central chest pain, also left knee and left hip.
Eddie Snedden from Preston is badly hurt. Gav must get up to speed, fast.
Not trapped that we're aware of.
Not for entrapment. He can move this leg and I can move the other one.
And any pain in his neck at all at the minute, or is it just more lower down?
It's here.
The red car was in collision with a Land Rover.
My name's Gavin from the Air Ambulance. Okay, can you remember everything that's happened, Eddie? Yeah. Okay, what we're going to do is try and get you out of this car as quick as we can, okay?
Air Ambulance veteran Owls also keeping an eye on the newly qualified flyer.
So just go a quick listen to your chest, and then we'll try and get you out as quick as we can.
It's feared Eddie has a spinal injury, and the pain in his hips is worrying. It's a complex case.
Gav's just started his secondment here with the Air Ambulance. I'm just finishing, so it's one of my last shifts and it's one of Gav's first, so it's quite good for us to be able to work together and kind of hand over a little bit and work through things. There's a lot of differences from working on the road.
You're pain in your chest at all when touching you, Eddie, Where's that hurting?
Right in the middle.
Sorry?
Right in the middle.
Right in the middle of your sternum. Okay. We'll try and get some IV access in, shall we? Get some pain relief on, and then we can get him out, can't we? Is that all right, yeah?
Yeah.
This patient, as you can see, has had quite a high-speed impact in quite an old car. He's complaining of lower back pain, central chest pain, obviously pulling from the seatbelt, sternum, and pain in his hip. So we can't rule out a pelvic injury at the minute. Have you had morphine before? You have. Are you okay with it? Yeah, good.
I don't think he's physically trapped, but he's been able to get out due to care at the moment. So Gavin's in there, he's assessing him further, going to try and get some pain relief on board.
Eddie's brother is already on his way to hospital. He's less seriously hurt.
Morphine?
Morphine 2021.
Yep.
So any obvious kind of limb fractures or anything?
Not that we can see, there's nothing there at all, no. It's not been trapped, no LOC.
You're thinking morphine for analgesia?
Morphine, that'd be just purely for extrication, really, yeah.
They need to free their patient. Gav's trying to make Eddie more comfortable. Morphine should help.
Is that helping at all, Eddie? It's quite difficult to assess at the minute with his pain score and his breathing, because it hurts when he breathes in. But that's not to say that he's masking any other injuries. So what we want to do is get the fabricator, get him out now. I've got him some morphine on board to try and make his pain easy for extrication. We're going to get him out, get him on the board, have another assessment top to toe, and then we can make a plan from there what we need to do next.
At last, Eddie's free.
Eddie?
Yeah.
Where's your pain now you laid on there?
Chest and hip.
Chest and hip. Which hip?
Left.
Your left hip? So that's painful, is it? Are you able to bend this knee up at all?
No, fine, you must.
No, that's fine. Yeah, thank you. And if you straighten it again.
Eddie's legs took much of the impact. It's feared he has a pelvic injury.
Okay, sorry, Eddie, where's that painful?
Yeah.
Where about? Oh, there, it's in your groin.
So it's in his groin?
Yeah.
I'm thinking this looks more like a hip injury.
It's rotated, isn't it?
Yeah. You might make it worse putting a binder on if it's an isolated hip injury, do you reckon?
I leave it, yeah. Okay. Yeah. So we'll leave the binder.
Gav's concluded Eddie's injury probably hasn't damaged his pelvis, but this injury could still have lifelong effects.
Air desk, I'm pilot from Medic 1. I think the plan's to fly this chap to James Cook, so we're just going to finish off getting him packaged and we'll be taking him over to the aircraft.
They're going to fly Eddie to the major trauma centre in Middlesbrough, 25 miles away.
You all right, Eddie? Right, you're in.
Pilot Steve will have Eddie in hospital in 10 minutes.
Breathe. Up and back, reject back where we are. I'll lift and then we'll turn tail left so that we're a bit more into wind.
Ant is helping with navigation. Soon he'll be back on road ambulances, facing a simpler but rather longer trip to A&E.
Cloud base is coming down a bit there, Nelk. Is a bit murky, innit? Yeah. You got James Cook in? Yeah, it's done. It's already there, thanks.
In the back, Gav is getting used to medicine in the air.
Just basically just keep talking to him, just making sure that he's maintaining his airway, so he's not feeling too sick. His pulse rate is fairly steady, so it's not gone up in any way, so that's a good indication that, that he's not necessarily in pain or feeling unwell.
And the new job has some challenges.
Some of the ambulances we work in haven't got much room, but you've got even less room in the back of a helicopter, so it's best to try and get everything done that you can get done before you get inside, because as you see when you're strapped in, it's very difficult to get up if you need to do anything in an emergency.
9-8 landers.
In the next hour, Eddie will be scanned and x-rayed.
He's complaining of sternum pain and pain in his left hip.
Okay.
Other than that, hemodynamically stable. He's had 10 milligrams of morphine and he's had some ondansetron because he felt sick in flight.
Today's accident has left him with life-changing injuries.
Hello. Are you Eddie? I'm Kat. I'm one of the consultants here.
His outlook is uncertain. The sun's out on the Yorkshire coast and the beaches are packed.
We're going out that way. We'll be slightly downwind initially. Everyone happy?
Yep.
But in the seaside town of Whitby, there's been a serious accident.
We've been tasked to an incident up in the middle of Whitby. There's someone's phoned after a 10-year-old lass has been knocked over by a car. They've reported that she's got some quite nasty kind of lower leg and foot injuries. It sounds like it's quite badly deformed. So we're on our way up to go and see if we can assist. And obviously if the patient needs to travel to the major trauma centre, then we can get them there a lot quicker than the road vehicle would be able to. The hardest thing dealing with kids when they're kind of really badly injured is they're trying to keep them calm. They're in pain, they're scared, and they don't always sort of know exactly what's going on. So speak to them in a reassuring manner and just let them do the bits and pieces that we need to do rather than try and force them into doing anything, because it'll just make it worse. It'll upset the kid and it'll upset mum and dad as well.
Whitby's famous for its narrow streets, but pilot Harry was born here and he has a plan.
If it's on the road, its exact location that it's indicated on the map, then there's plenty of options. It's just a case of IDing exactly where it is, but you'll be within 150 metres tops of the location.
Yes, I've heard this pilot 150 metres before.
Last time I went to Whitby, it was like a 2-mile walk to the patient. Okay, so looking at the cliff top there, you've got a white building halfway along the sort of built-up area on come right to that, you've got a much taller building. The cliff lift is just to the right of that taller building.
Roger. Got a police van there at 1 o'clock now.
Yeah, okay, seen, yeah. Okay, so I'm going to put it onto the potting green or somewhere around that area, just the other side of the road, if everyone is happy with that.
Police are giving the girl first aid. She was hit by this car.
10-year-old Spanish-speaking female. She's run out between parked cars. They've clipped her leg, and it's quite an obvious broken left ankle. Dad is there in the grey T-shirt, and which one was Mum? This is Mum here.
And the Mum.
Hello, I'm Sam. Hello. What's your name, Flower?
Ariana.
Ariana. Hello, Ariana. Can you remember everything that's happened?
Yes.
Ariana's lower leg is badly broken. She's on holiday from Spain.
So listen, we've got some special medicine for you to breathe in that will help with your leg, because is your leg hurting? Yeah? Do you want some of this to make it hurt less then? Do you like milkshakes? So you know when you have a milkshake and you have it through a straw and you suck on the straw, like that? That's what you do with this.
Like
Parita. Brilliant, good girl. That's fab.
If the fracture has cut off the blood supply, there's a danger if it's not restored. Ariana could lose her foot.
Right, Ariana, can my friend just hold that for you? Yeah. And then while he's doing that, there'll just be a little scratch in your arm, and we'll give you some really good pain relief, and then we can get you sorted.
No, I don't want. Really, I don't want.
They need to straighten her leg. But first, paramedic Sam needs to control the pain.
Ariana, listen to me, okay? So you know how your leg really hurts, yeah? If we pop this little tube in your hand, we can give you some medicine so that it doesn't hurt.
Estos chicos no te van a hacer daño. I don't want this.
I know, but we'll do it once, and then it'll all be done.
Should it hurt?
It won't hurt anywhere near as much as your leg. Just keep going with that.
All we want you to do is focus on having this gas, all right? You just breathe this and don't think about anything else, all right?
No, I can't.
You're doing really well, all right?
No, wait, please.
Shut your eyes if you want. Mummy's here with you, so nothing bad's going to happen to you. She'll look after you.
It's distressing for Ariana and her parents, but the team must get an intravenous line into her arm.
Sharp scratch. Well done. It's nearly done.
That's it. That's done.
All done.
That's done. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Now they can give her morphine. She should be able to bear her broken leg being moved.
Keep taking this, look. Good girl. That's the worst thing done. So what we're going to do, Ariana, is we're going to give you some special medicine to make you feel better. And then we're going to pop you on a special stretcher, and then we can take you to the helicopter and take you to the hospital. Is that okay?
Yeah!
Yeah?
It's almost time to fly.
Don't worry, we'll look after you.
But the language barrier will make this case even harder. In the picturesque seaside town of Whitby, the team are preparing to take off the hospital.
That's medic 1.
With the Spanish victim of a serious road accident.
Yeah, so just confirming we're going to fly this patient. She's a 10-year-old female hit by a car.
It looks like Ariana looked the wrong way when she tried to cross the road.
ETH James Cook's probably going to be about 25 minutes from now. It's going to be about another 10 minutes, 15 minutes packaging and loading onto the aircraft and a 10-minute flyover.
Ariana, how's your foot feeling now? Does it feel any better after that medicine? It feels better, does it? Yeah. Keep breathing that gas and air, and we're going to put that hurty leg into a splint and it will feel better, all right? Ariana, bite on that. Take some deep breaths. Take some deep breaths.
They need to see if blood flow to her foot has been restored.
You've been very brave. So Mummy and Daddy are here with you. We'll look after you. Don't you worry. Just keep going with some nice deep breaths. So I couldn't find a pedal pulse.
She's got one. It's there. Yeah.
They're using gentle tension to relieve pressure on blood vessels inside her ankle.
Right, Ariana, what we're going to do is just going to sort of put your bum so it's flat on the ground. So you can keep that poorly leg where it is for now.
Don't touch my foot, please.
We have to move it because we need to move it to make it better. I know it'll hurt, but it'll feel better soon after.
It hurts me.
It's all right. You can squeeze my hand if you want. You can squeeze as hard as you like.
I'd say that's more distal tib fib than.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Have we got a good pedal pulse?
Yes, yeah.
Ariana, it's done. It's in that box. Okay.
Ya está, cariño.
Blood is once more reaching her foot. It's good news.
How does your ankle feel now that we've stopped moving it? Is it a bit better again?
It's better now.
Just keep going with that.
So Ariana's been clipped by a car driving down the road. It's a relatively sort of low-speed impact. She's got a fracture, it looks like, to the bottom of her tib and fib bones, so the lower leg. So we've had to give her some pain relief medicine so we can get that leg back into a normal straight shape and try and reduce the bleeding. We're getting her packaged onto a scoop. We're going to load her onto the aircraft and fly her up to James Cook, which is the nearest trauma centre from here. Her English is amazing, it's much better than my Spanish is, but it is quite challenging to communicate and gain the trust of any child when they're injured. So it has been quite challenging in getting her trust just so we can get these procedures done and get her more comfortable.
It's every mum's worst nightmare. It happened in a moment.
Ariana crossed without looking properly. She said she looked, but she didn't see the car. And then the car kicked her, and yeah. Fortunately, she didn't kick her head. That was, the good thing, but the leg looks, it's broken. So let's see now. Let's see.
She's going to be flown 25 miles to Middlesbrough.
Try and relax. All right. Mummy's with you, and I promise I'll look after you. All right.
Okay, wrap started, mate.
Yes, mate.
It's a 12-minute flight.
She's landed awkwardly on her left leg, and it looks like a nasty injury that may well require surgery. But kiddies are really great. They're really resilient. As long as you you speak to them gently and coax them and spend a bit of time with them, they will do stuff. She let us put a little needle in her arm. We gave her some painkillers, and we'll get her up to James Cook and get the orthopaedic doctors up there to have a look at her and get her sorted so she can carry on with the holiday.
You're doing really well. Just relax, okay? Mummy's still there, so we'll look after you.
I suppose it's that classic, isn't it? You do on holiday when you go to a country where they drive on the other side of the road.
Yeah.
And you don't look the right direction for the traffic coming.
I've not thought about that, but that would explain a lot, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Orthopaedic surgeons are on standby in the major trauma centre to examine Ariana's leg.
Okay, leave us down. Clear to us, stop the finish.
The family holiday is on hold, and Ariana could be heading for the operating theatre. In Preston, accident victim Eddie Snedden is recovering from a car crash that could have killed him.
Talking to two specialists in the Preston hospital, and they're both absolutely astonished that we're still here.
He broke his sternum, the breastbone.
The only way I can describe it is like a chicken bone. You break a chicken bone, it splinters and sharpens. So you've always got one thin side where they won't go back together.
Eddie works in construction, and doctors are uncertain whether he'll be able to return to his job.
Might never happen because the chest bone where it was broke, it's never going to heal. It's just gristle, it's going to be around it, and a heavier touch could damage it again. So when you've been doing that kind of job for like 30 years, it's a hard thing to pull out. So.
In the North Yorkshire countryside, there's a very familiar emergency.
9-9, got a job for you.
Dispatcher Al is calling the airbase at RAF Topcliffe.
Okay, you want to step with the grid? Yeah, Roger, it's at the Thirsk Farm auction mart. Somebody being crushed by a cow.
Helimed 99 with paramedic Simon on board will be there in 3 minutes. It's just around the corner.
Okay, 101, all looking good inside. Just the two greens on the master list.
Hey, that's for Melody 99. How are you lifted? Going out very shortly over.
Yeah, Roger, the auction mart staff are aware you're en route. There shouldn't be any animals loose. And they've suggested you might want to land on the grass next to the A19.
Yeah, just here, copy that.
They're heading to an incident, a short hop from base in the Thirsk area, where reports of a man that's been crushed by a bull. We don't really know much about his injuries at this point in time. There's every chance that we'll be first on scene, given how close we are. It's literally a couple of minutes away, so we'll see what we find when we get there.
Visual scene.
Oh, we're here, are we?
Yes.
Hey, that's from 991 final.
Roger.
They're landing at a livestock market where the local farmers are selling their stock. One of them is 73-year-old Steve Potter. He was leading a cow and calf into the sales ring when he was crushed against a wall.
Okay.
How long is it? Straight through that door.
Awesome, thank you. Right.
Local paramedics have beaten the helicopter to the patient.
What's his name?
Steve.
Stephen, how old is he?
73.
Steve's in great pain. His ribs are broken.
So I've got a couple of fractures under my right hand. I'll have a better look at the palpate in a minute.
A flail segment is a very serious injury. It's when several ribs are broken in more than one place. Shards of bone can start catastrophic internal bleeding in the lungs.
Right. Are you allergic to any medicines?
Not that I know of.
Okay, you taking medicines for anything?
Taking, yeah, for type 2 diabetes.
Okay, let's get some... I'm going to pop a little needle in your arm, give you some painkillers, okay? Can we get the bed in?
Yeah.
And start... We'll move them out to the ambulance where it's a bit quieter. Yeah. Whilst we're doing that, we'll just get some access, yeah.
Steve's age and his diabetes make his case even more serious. Simon wants to give him pain-killing drugs, but Steve's shrugging off his injury.
Just in your ribs.
Just relax. Relax your hand for me. Do you take any blood thinners or anything like that?
Yorkshire farmers rarely retire, and many work into their 80s.
So we'll get some painkillers on board, and then we'll move him out to the ambulance and make a decision from there what we're going to do, but I would imagine we'll take him to James Cook.
Steve may need emergency surgery. The sale is a major landmark on the farming calendar, and nothing stops the bidding. But Steve was lucky medical care was on hand immediately.
I was actually running a first aid course for some of the members of staff here at the time, and a lady came in and said that a member of the public had been crushed in the ring, so I came down and helped deal with it. Well, I'm not actually a trainer, I'm actually a community first responder with the ambulance service, so wasn't expecting to do this today, but yeah, I'm glad I could help, and that's the main thing, so that's what we're here for.
The plan is to fly him to the regional trauma centre in Middlesbrough.
The bottom of your rib cage kind of sits over where your abdominal organs are.
Yeah.
So if you've broken the rib at the bottom, there's a chance it might have just nicked the spleen, which is why you're tender down there, okay?
They're driving him to the waiting chopper. In this case, time is of the essence.
We'll get you into the back of the helicopter and then we'll take you up to James Cook. So what exactly happened?
He's just turned on me sort of thing.
Right.
Got a bit feisty.
Yeah.
Look more comfortable.
A bit more, yeah.
Has that medicine helped with it?
Probably has a bit, yeah.
Okay, good.
Steve's condition is stable, but that could change.
Hello there, it's Helimed 99, Yorkshire Air Ambulance, coming in with a trauma patient. 73-year-old male that's been crushed by a bull. He's got a left-sided chest injury with an apparent flail. He's got pneumothorax, but not under tension, and he's got some left upper quadrant abdominal pain, query splenic injury. Heart rate currently is 100, sats were 95 on oxygen, rest rate of 22, and our ETA is going to be about 10 to 12 minutes. So this gentleman unfortunately had an altercation with a bull and has sustained a significant chest injury as a result. Feels like he's got a number of rib fractures. Those rib fractures are concentrated in one place, which makes the rib cage unstable, what we call a flail segment. And underneath it appears that he's damaged the lung. There's reduced air entry, which suggests that the lung might have collapsed.
Pilot Harry is flying Steve 25 miles north to Teesside.
Okie dokie. Oh, you good left? Cool. Got visuals of the wires. Okay, into the hover, 2 good engines pulling 101, just greens, going up and back from here. Yeah.
Livestock accidents are a common occurrence for the team.
Hey, let's go at 99, let's do route up to James Cook.
I'm going to give you a little bit more painkiller, okay?
And Simon knows from experience to be extra cautious.
Farmers can be notoriously difficult as patients because they tend to be quite stoic about their pain, so they don't give much away. He was a pretty grotty colour when we got to him. He was quite pale, which suggested that he was pretty uncomfortable and potentially quite unwell. One of the big problems with chest injuries is that the pain often causes them to splint, so they don't take deep breaths, which affects their oxygenation. So we want to make sure that they're adequately covered for pain relief so that they continue to breathe effectively.
That's from Melbourne 99. We're on finals for James Cook.
Steve is heading for Rhesus, where thoracic surgeons are available to assess his injuries. His livelihood relies on him being fit enough to farm. In the market town of Pontefract, an ambulance is racing to the scene of a serious bike accident.
I know you said that he's not responding, but are there any obvious injuries? Is there any serious bleeding?
At Air Ambulance headquarters, the crew are listening in to the 999 call.
Right, has he still got his helmet on?
No. Did he have an helmet on? No, he didn't have one on.
The biker could have a major head injury. Helimed 98 is on the case.
Fuel is 530 keys present.
It's just 7 miles. Dr. Paul and the team will be there in 3 minutes.
The initial reports are that he wasn't wearing a helmet. He may well be unconscious. Head injuries can be very serious, and if this gentleman is either unconscious or agitated or confused when we get there, that's a significant worry from our point of view. There's nothing we can do about the initial head injury that happened at the time. It's all about preventing what we call a secondary brain injury.
It's happened on a housing estate.
So you're going to have to get through them gardens and, yeah, somehow.
Yeah, we should be able to get through there.
You get your back round the back of them flats, through the corner of them flats, and then you're onto the road, mate.
Yep, no worries.
Pilot Gary's heading for a patch of waste ground.
Okay, the house on the right-hand side with the hot tub, mate. You can get through that, it's got a gate. In fact, there's a bloke on the right-hand side.
There's a man in that garden, yeah, he'll let us through, won't he?
Give us a shout if you need anything, Al.
Yeah, will do.
Yeah, I guess blood and ventilator tone maybe the
cleared out.
Paul and paramedics Tony and Anthony are on foot from here.
So we've landed in a field, probably half a kilometre away. Had to come through somebody's back garden. Now we're just making our way to the job, so we'll find out what we find when we get there. You all right, chaps? How are you?
Jordan Clark is 23. He hit a fence after coming off his bike.
He's been coming about 30-40 miles an hour on the pavement and has lost control. And according to witness, he's gone in about 15-20 foot.
Right.
Landed where he is now.
Yeah.
He's going to see an abrasion on his head at the moment, and he's complaining of pain to both of his legs.
Is it?
His relatives rushed to help, but they found him confused and in great pain.
He's come off kind of 30-40 miles an hour. Unfortunately, he wasn't wearing a helmet, and he's managed to crash into the fence that's got concrete along the bottom of it. So potential for serious injuries.
Police gave Jordan first aid until a local paramedic crew arrived.
Where's the worst of your pain?
My legs.
Your legs, what, both legs?
Yeah.
Then is it at the top, the middle and the bottom?
Middle and bottom.
Middle and the bottom?
Yeah.
And is it both as bad as each other?
It turns out that it's not the first time he's come off.
Might start getting a cannula stuff ready, mate. Would that be okay? Just a cannula kit set up and ready to go in, that'd be ideal.
They're going to give him pain-killing drugs through an intravenous line.
Because what we're going to have to do, we are going to have to move you a little bit just so we can get you off this floor. Okay? Yeah. Let's just get him on his back then and see what we've got, all right?
Happy that says Spencer now? Yep. 20 Spencer. Thank you.
Ready, steady, roll.
Let's stop. Roll. Well done, Jordan.
He's answering the medic's questions, but he could still have a brain injury. And Dr. Paul wants to rule out fractures to his legs and arms.
Where's the worst of your pain, my friend? Where does it hurt most of all?
My knees and below.
Say again, fella.
My knees and below.
Your knees and below, okay, mate. Right, any pain in your chest?
No, mate, feel fine.
Take a deep breath in for me. Well done, we'll get you some painkillers in a second.
I'm going to pop a little needle in your arm.
We've given him some painkiller called fentanyl, which is stronger than morphine because it works a little bit quicker. Despite the mechanism, I can't actually see any obvious major trauma, and again, clinically, he didn't have any lower back pain, and he had no hip pain. Local hospital, guys, from here would be... Pinders. I'm happy to go to Pinders.
Sure. The local A&E is only a 10-minute drive.
I've got a 23-year-old male patient who's been travelling at approximately 30 to 40 miles an hour on his motorbike. Didn't have a helmet on, and I think he slipped on the wet road. He's complaining of some pain bilaterally to both lower legs. Both legs are neurovascularly intact, and there's no evidence of any significant lower limb fractures. The bones are pointing in the right direction.
Dr. Paul and the team are going to A&E at Pinderfields Hospital with their patient.
999 mode activated.
They're concerned his condition may get worse.
Do you ever wear a helmet, Gordon?
I don't know, today, Karma.
You are there?
Karma today.
Karma.
Do you think you'll wear it now?
No, I'd have it on now if I could. I think I need to wear it all the time.
You do? He's had a lucky escape, really. He's come off a motorbike with no helmet on. He's okay to go to the local trauma unit for those further tests and treatment.
His worried family will wait for news, but Dr. Paul is optimistic.
They're going to have another good look at him top to toe like we did at the roadside to make sure there's no other significant injuries that we've not come across. Still concerned about those lower legs. It's likely that he'll go off, he'll have a scan that will show any more significant injuries and some x-rays of his legs to find out if he's got any broken bones, and they'll be treated appropriately at the time.
It looks like their patient beat the odds. The team's seen plenty more bikers who choose not to wear a helmet and pay with their lives. Jordan needed surgery on his legs and to remove gravel from his arms and hands. He tore several ligaments and needs a further operation. But he escaped a major head injury, despite his decision not to wear a helmet. Doctors at Leeds General Infirmary found that Jennifer, trapped under the family caravan in a freak accident, had shattered her pelvis. She was left totally immobile and spent 5 weeks recovering from reconstructive surgery. She's been warned it could be 2 years before she's fully fit. It was 3 months before Spanish holidaymaker Ariana could walk without crutches, but she has now made a good recovery. Farmer Steve broke 9 ribs and spent 4 days in a high dependency ward.
Fortunately, the cow didn't have horns, so that was a bit of a relief. It's sort of been, probably worse injured sort of thing.
And his accident has made him a little more wary of his livestock.
When I go into the cows now, if I probably have one that's looking a little bit, staring at me a little bit, we give it a wide berth sort of thing.
North Yorkshire's farmers are big supporters of the Air Ambulance team, for good reason.
Well, they did an absolute marvellous job, we couldn't do without them, really.